Everybody take their seats. We're going to begin tonight's meeting. Okay, my name is Aubrey Lane, and I'm the Secretary of Transportation for the great Commonwealth of Virginia. And welcome to tonight's action item meeting for the CTB, the Commonwealth Transportation Board, here in Falls Church. One of the things I always do when I start our formal meetings is I have the Pledge of Allegiance, so I would ask you all to stand and join me in that, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. I would also ask, we had some unfortunate events that have happened in our world in the last month or so, and certainly in our country here in California. And I would ask just for a moment of silence, remembering those victims in San Bernardino and other parts of the world. If you would join me, please, just for a moment of silence. Okay, thank you very much. As I said, this is the actual formal session of the Commonwealth Transportation Board, and tonight will be about hearing from you. We're going to be taking public comment this evening. While we advertised it as Interstate 66, we're more than welcome to hear from you on any topic you'd like to speak about. The board has asked me to follow our published rules, and what that means is we'll take people on a first-come, first-served basis. Individuals, besides having 3 minutes at the podium, and I would ask you to please stay to 3 minutes, and if I ask you to wrap up, I am not being discourteous. It's what we do all the way across the Commonwealth when we've had these meetings, and there will be a timer behind me to give you a clue as to when that's coming up. You may also submit written comments that we've taken, and several have already done so, and we will be happy to look at those. Speakers should direct your comments to the board, not individual CTB members. Obviously, profane or vulgar language is only used by the board. No, it's not to be used by anybody. This evening. Be courteous. I know sometimes these are emotional issues, and we respect that, and we want to hear from you in that regard. You should also know that public comment will be received without response from the board. That is not to intimidate anybody that wants to say and give them the opportunity to say what they'd like to. So with that, I again welcome you all. We do really want to hear from you. We've got some important decisions to make. And as I say, this is actually a formal action item agenda for the Commonwealth Transportation Board. I am going to go out of order for one person. We are in the great city of Falls Church. And so I will allow, I know I saw the Vice Mayor David Snyder to come up. And then from that point forward, sir, we very much appreciate your hospitality. I stand here at George Mason. Thank you very much for having us here.
Well, thank you very much. And while you're taking me out of order, I hope I am not out of order. I want to welcome everyone here on behalf of the citizens and taxpayers of the City of Falls Church. We're greatly honored by your presence. The high school that you're in is one of the top high schools in Virginia and indeed the country, and is named after George Mason, one of our founders, who was on the vestry of the Falls Church, for which we take our name. That founder, as well as our other founders, were concerned about infrastructure. So you're part of a very long train of leadership in Virginia on infrastructure. Well, I want to thank you for holding this public comment session tonight here in the City of Falls Church, because we are very much affected by I-66. And as a longtime resident and vice mayor of the city, we are very appreciative of your efforts. I'm also chairman of the Northern Virginia Transportation Commission. And as you know, NVTC met last week and agreed to partner with the Commonwealth in deciding how toll revenues will be used to make sure that more people can move through the I-66 corridor. There are many divergent views, as you well know, about how to address congestion in the I-66 corridor. Through this project, with its investments in transit, technology upgrades, roadway, intersection, and park and ride lot improvements, as well as carpools and van pools, we will provide real congestion relief to our people. In fact, we will achieve many times over the measurable benefits, including the number of people able to travel quickly and reliably on I-66 and the surrounding roads, and at the same time do something to improve our environment. I want to make very quickly 5 points. First of all, regional decision making. This agreement puts decision making about multimodal investments in the hands of the region. As my colleague Delegate Tom Rust put it, NVTC and the region are in the best position to make decisions about what investments are most important to the region. It gives NVTC the opportunity to set standards about how projects are chosen. Secondly, NVTC is at the right place. Delegate Rust noted that NVTC is the most appropriate body to make these decisions. So thank you for partnering with this organization. Third, congestion on and around I-66. As I said earlier, the agreement makes sure that we're talking about addressing congestion in the entire corridor, both on I-66 and the adjacent streets. We understand that transportation in this corridor is a system with many parts and challenges. Communities along I-66 have justifiably been concerned about the effect tolling may have on our streets. The agreement takes congestion on arterials into account, allowing for investments in transit and roadway improvements on arterials. Through NVTC, local leaders will have control over the spending of toll dollars to improve mobility in the corridor, which includes routes 29, 50, and 7, Wilson Boulevard, and other heavily traveled roads. Next, there's no solution without transit. This agreement ensures that we're all using all the available tools to address congestion, including transit, park and ride lots, carpools, van pools, roadway improvements, technology, and more. As MVTC Commissioner, Fairfax County Supervisor Jeff McKay noted, no amount of widening can do enough to move people through this area. Transit must be part of the solution. The agreement locks this down and makes sure it happens. And that is something that did not happen in other cases and is happening here. Finally, and this is a key point I want to make, an innovative, cost-effective solution is critical to improve mobility and maintain the quality of our lives. Those of us, such as myself and my family, who regularly travel this corridor, know that it is unique. At one end is a virtual wall called the Potomac River, and beyond it is very limited roadways that will not expand, and indeed are contracting for cars. It is also marked by traffic lights and almost all exit ramps and already heavily congested local roads. In other words, the way to think about this is less a transportation corridor and more of a hallway. For these reasons, I believe that the true long-term solution for this corridor lies not in focusing precious resources primarily on more lanes for cars, as that will simply speed a few more people into the inevitable gridlock caused by these unchangeable realities. Instead, in my view, we should focus most of our investments on providing safe, reliable, and attractive alternatives to driving alone that are useful for people wherever they live and work. Again, thank you all very much for the time that you have put in and that you will put in, and it's a great honor to have you with us this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I should also apologize in advance if I misspeak your name. Please, it is not intentional, and please correct me when you get up. Thank you for the welcome, sir. The next person we have on the list is Keith Merlin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary, members of the board. I'm Keith Merlin. I'm president of the Washington Airports Task Force. The point I want to make here is we are extraordinarily supportive of your efforts in trying to improve I-66. The thing we need to emphasize or watch is that the system of roadways, that is the access highway, the connector, and I-66 inside the Beltway, is an umbilical cord. It connects eastern Fairfax County, Arlington, Alexandria, and the district with Dulles Airport and the markets, international markets, where the goods and services are done. The sequestration and the rest, the federal footprint is decreasing, private enterprise is picking up, and Dulles will be even more critical to that. If we impose tolls and HOV restrictions on Dulles passengers and traffic, that's going to drive them to national, which is going to increase the congestion there and increase the noise problems and the rest that we have over Alexandria and Arlington. We need to be aware of that, and we need to protect the economic engine that Dulles is. The other thing, just one point on the bridge, we are blessed in this region that we have 3 major airports, and we have 3 surviving airlines after consolidation. Every other major metropolitan area would give their right arm to have what we have. What we need to do is connect them. We need to connect the inter-county connector. We need to get additional bridge crossings. We need to fix the Cabin John Bridge. And I call it that because it's still, whether we change the name, it's still the old Cabin John Bridge. And we need to make a network that connects our 3 airports so all of our citizens can enjoy the economic benefits of this region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Merlin. Next we have Nancy Walker. Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Nancy Walker, and I commute on 66 every day, 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. I attended your meeting about a month ago in Linton Hall, and I was really taken aback at the extent of the information that was on display that night. At every display, there was a huge screenshot of the sections of 66 and how perfectly they would improve the flow of traffic east and westbound. I asked many questions of the consultants, and they all seemed to be on board with the ideas on how this was going to reduce the amount of traffic on 66, as that was the ultimate goal. But none could tell me whose bright idea this was. The collective thought was that their plan was going to reduce the amount of vehicles on 66 by either having them take alternate routes, which there actually are no alternate routes, or carpool. And I kept asking them, what model did you go off of? Is it Chicago? Is it New York? Is it, Washington, D.C.? Whose model did you go off of and come up with these outrageous tolls for this area? We've paid for 66 probably 5 times over right now. And you're telling me that these tolls are going to be used to improve 66 after this is all done by bike paths and pedestrian walkways? No, my money's not going to go there. I'd like to know who in this room came up with this idea, because you should surely be demanded to stand up and show yourselves to the people that you are intending to screw. I have the impression that this is going to happen no matter what, and that those of us that use 66 to go anywhere are going to pay for our inability to control our daily commute. I want to know who has been on the Commonwealth Transportation Board and did not have the vision to bring Metro out to Haymarket years ago. I want to know who didn't have the vision to know that Northern Virginia was going to explode with building and infrastructure and building permits for thousands and thousands of apartments and no improvements to 66 or 29 or 50. I want to know who didn't have the vision to know that you were needing to accommodate traffic for this community and for this area. We're not going to go down this without a fight. Jobs are not 9 to 5 anymore. Between sick kids, sporting events, off-site meetings, unpredictable hours, you cannot force people to commute and carpool. I cannot find 2 people that are going to go the same way as me at the same time to work and go back. And I don't like the fact that when there's no HOV, we can't use the HOV lane. It doesn't open up, it doesn't let us use it. We have to pay an outrageous toll to use it. This is about relief on 66.
I should ask to wrap up, please, ma'am.
Okay. If this is really the best idea that you could come up with, this is like hindsight. And we are going to pay for your hindsight because you didn't come up with this 20 years ago. And everything on here that says 66 now, this could easily say 1994 and say the whole thing.
Thank you, ma'am. Next is Stuart Schwartz.
Mr. Secretary, members of the CTB, I'm Stuart Schwartz. I'm the Executive Director of the Coalition for Smarter Growth. We've been around for 18 years now and founded by the region's largest conservation groups, and we now have partners with affordable housing groups and many others. We have endorsed the concept of I-66 inside the Beltway. I think Councilmember or Vice Mayor Snyder very clearly made the point about why that would work and why widening would not work. There is a real problem of induced traffic. If you build it, they will come. It applies to the challenges on all of our roadways. In the short term, people will change, if you widen a road, people will change their route, they'll change the time of their commute, they'll leave transit and come back to driving alone. Over the long term,